Hello and welcome to Tabletop Oddity. My name is Jay, and today I'm going to be looking at key positions for Star Wars Legion. Now, this is a bit of a hot topic on the Discord in particular. Just as I sat down to record this, I noticed that the Notorious Scoundrels, the Star Wars Legion podcast, had done an episode on this. I haven't listened to that, but I probably suggest listening to that if you want more detail. It's like an hour long. But yeah, it's a hot topic on the Discord. People are talking about key positions. For those of you who don't know, when you play Star Wars Legion, you get to bring 4 of each different kind of type of card, and then you randomly select 3, and then if you have a little mini game, and there is a case where key positions is on the farthest right, which means as the blue player you can sort of guarantee it. 1 in 4 you'll guarantee it, and you get to become blue player by taking less points than your opponent, basically. So let's talk about key positions as its card itself. The reason that it's unbalanced, basically. Each player gets to, the blue player gets to place 2 tokens and the red player gets to place 1. They have to be touching a piece of terrain that is completely outside of the deployment zone. And whoever has the most unit leaders touching that terrain at the end of the game wins. Right? Simple enough. The main problem there, as you probably noticed, is that the blue player gets to pick 2. And the red player gets to pick 1. Now, in all the other, I say in all the other games, in at least most of the other game types, like intercept the transmissions, what's the claim the objective ones? Can't remember. The name escapes me at the minute. Intercept the supplies, recover the supplies. There we go. There's like intercept the transmissions. There's 3 objectives. That's fine. And they're all like equal distance away from everybody. Recover the supplies, there's 5 objectives, 1 in the middle, 2 each. Again, fine. Whereas this, it's imbalanced just in itself. Like the blue player gets 2, the red player gets 1. That creates like an instinctive imbalance just numerically. And obviously that leads to an imbalanced game of it. Because, the blue player is going to pick 2 pieces of terrain near them and the red player is going to pick near them. And yes, it's not an automatic win, but I think most people agree that it is pretty biased and favourable for the blue player. If you're a player who can beat, you can win as key positions as red player, it probably means either you're better than your opponent or your list just counters your opponent. It doesn't really mean that key positions isn't broken. I think on average in most games, I'm going to say like 8 out of 10 will probably go to keep the blue player in key positions, right? There's a problem, I think, and most people can see it. Whether or not you agree with that, I think, like, in itself, intrinsically, it has an issue. Now, is that actually okay, or is that fair? Because if you're the blue player, it means you've likely taken less points than your opponent, so in theory, they have an advantage. The reality is it's not a big enough, it's not, that difference in point differential does not equate to the game differential of key positions. It too obviously favours the blue player. And people are taking massive bids, like 20 odd points sometimes occasionally, to try and get blue player, and it's a little bit, this is the key positions is pretty much the reason why. Because you want to be able to use your cards, but if you want to be the blue player, you will take key positions because it's good for you no matter what list you're running, pretty much. So you're going to everybody's going to include key positions, and that means pretty much 1 in 4 games are going to be a key position. And 1 in 4 games is going to put you either, if you're the blue player, on the front foot, or if you're the red player, on the back foot. And that's not a fun time. It's not a fun game. It's not a great game. I think I played somebody Element Games the other week at the Ribble thingy, and they hadn't played very much, and I got key positions. I was like, I want to win these games. I'm going to pick it, but I do apologise. And I think it's unfair. Most people can agree with it. There's been problems on the forums and on Discord. Everybody can pretty much see that. So the key question is how to fix it, because I'm not going to try and suggest how to play around it, how to play it. We'll just accept for now that, if you will, that it's unfair, and then we'll try and fix it, right? So there's a couple of solutions to this problem. I say number 1. We'll just go through them in order while I can think of them. Number 1, you could change the card, right? You could change the card to be I'm trying to say a number of things, but I can't think of a good phrase for it. You could make it so that it's 2 apiece, right? That would probably result in more draws, but at least it would be balanced. You could make it so one just goes on the closest piece of terrain to the middle. The problem with that is that still might be like imbalanced. I don't know how else you could change the card. I'm sure there's smarter people out there working on it and thinking about different solutions, but for me, you could change the card. I don't think FFG want to change the card because it sort of then accepts like, we messed up, and then you have that issue with people who are buying the box are playing a different game from the people who who are in events and at tournaments, and they're like, well, I've got on my app here, it says this is actually different, so we're going to play it this way. And little Johnny's like, what? I just bought this for Christmas. What are you talking about? But I think that's, some sort of change inevitable. I just don't think they want to change cards details at this point in the cycle. I think they want to wait as long as they can before changing the card and basically admitting that mistake. So you could change the rules. Now this seems a bit drastic, but in the mini game where you pick from left to right, there's 3 of each types of conditions and objectives and all that kind of stuff. You could change the rules there, and the way I personally would favour it is let the red player use both of his or her turn to remove the card that's on the right. So for example, let's say you got intercept the transmission, recover the supplies, key positions on the right. The blue player would be like, I'm taking recover the supply key positions because it's the best one and favours me, so I'm going to remove the one on the left. But then the red player is like, I know what you're trying to do here, so I'm going to use both my goals to get rid of the card on the right. We're going to have to play the one in the middle. The blue player still gets to pick one other, objective, deployment, all that kind of stuff. But, I feel like that balances. The red player has the option of doing it or not doing it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't force that player to do it. But it would allow you to sort of veto a card. You get the power of veto. The blue player, I'd even let the blue player do it as well. I don't know why you would want to as a blue player. Maybe because you pick the cards, but maybe you're like, I really don't want Long March, so I'm going to get rid of it. That's the way I think that would balance the game going forward as well. It would actually allow a few different crazier kind of cards to come out. Because you could be like, well, both players can get rid of that card and you don't have to play it. So for me, I am in favour of changing the rules to let the red player use both of their turns to get rid of it. That's my fix. Any other fix is probably changing the card, which I would guess at the minute FFG are reluctant to do. But yeah. I don't think there's anything really to say. Like you could argue maybe that the game itself isn't actually imbalanced on that objective scenario. I would strongly disagree with that. As a caveat though, I'm not saying that the red player will never ever win a game. I'm fairly sure that will happen and has happened, probably even happened to me. But I think most average people think there's a bit of an imbalance. And it's interesting, like this is a very 1 in 4 games being it is quite high. So I personally would like to see FFG move on it swiftly. Even though it's been out 7 months, something like that, and we've not seen anything. But I can't see them waiting for the Clone Wars to try and fix it. So I'm in favour of a quick little rule change like that. Yeah, it would completely mix up the game, but I think it would be in a fairish kind of way. So that's my call. Let me know your thoughts. Are you Nicky, we went to the FFG Nationals and he got key positions. He could have had key positions. He chose not to. I think actually I might have actually preferred key positions in that game because we actually played Breakthrough and I had Vader and I couldn't get there. So I think key positions actually might have actually favoured me in that over Breakthrough. Just with the list I had, but he literally chose not to because he was like, I want to actually have a game, and I respect that. And I think if you're good enough, you can probably do that. Whereas I'm not good enough, so I'm going to keep picking key positions until they change it. So please change it. And let me know your thoughts. Have you played many key positions? Have you won from the red player? Do you still think maybe it's still a bit broken? Or are you not bothered? Have you even barely noticed it and you're just enjoying Star Wars Legion for what it is? Let me know your thoughts. I'm actually really intrigued. Do you think FSG should change it? And if you do, how do you think they should change it? That would be the very key question, I guess. But yeah, that's it. I just wanted to talk about key positions. To summarise, it broken, please fix. Don't know how to fix. Different variables, conditions, fine. Have a most beautiful day. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, then please do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell button. Also like this video and consider following me and supporting me on Patreon. It really does help, I don't know what I'm doing. Have a beautiful day. Goodbye.